Moto G71, AMOLED, Snapdragon 695, stock Android, 18999. Makes sense? Let's find out. So this is the new Moto G71 and I'll talk about all of the aspects of this phone, but like the G51, the biggest point of debate in this phone is the chipset. See, here are the specs of the G71. The G71 is the first phone in India with the new Snapdragon 695 5G chipset. Then there's 6GB of LPDDR4X RAM and 128GB of uMCP storage, which, like I mentioned in the G51 video, brings speeds between UFS 2.1 and UFS 2.2. I think Qualcomm has once again kind of messed up the naming. A 6 series chipset is something we generally see at lower price points, but this 6 series chipset is actually more powerful than a lot of 7 series Snapdragon chipsets. Let me show you. Here's a comparison of the 695 versus 750G. First of all, the 695 is a 6nm chipset, unlike the 8nm architecture on the 750G. This means the 695 will be more power efficient. Then the 695 has newer, faster Cortex A78 cores compared to Cortex A77 on the 750G, so it's more powerful. Then the 695 has the same Adreno 619 GPU as the 750G, but it has the higher clock speed. So the 695 is actually powerful, and just don't take my word for it. It shows in the benchmarks. Here's the Geekbench 5 score of the G71 compared to the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max's Snapdragon 732G. And you can see the 695 is way better, both in single core score and multi-core score. It's actually a big difference. The 695 also beats the Dimensity 810 easily, as you can see. And to give you an idea, it actually comes close to the Dimensity 920 in the new Xiaomi 11i. So there's actually no doubt in my mind that the Snapdragon 695 makes sense in this price range. In fact, it's better than most of the competition. When it comes to real-world performance, the Moto G71 seems like a very fast and snappy phone. See, there's no lag anywhere and everything just feels like you'd expect from a good modern-day phone. The gaming performance is good too. I've only played a couple of BGMI sessions and I've had no problems playing at even HD graphics. So the performance is good, and what's helping is obviously the stock Android experience here. It's Android 11 with ThinkShield security and there's no weird bloatware or ads, just a few Motorola features, and it's the experience I like. Motorola has promised the Android 12 update and 2 years of security patches, and that's fine, but imagine how good it would be if this phone came with Android 12 out of the box. I think that would be better, right? Anyway, coming to the second big point of the G71, the phone has a 6.4-inch AMOLED with FHD Plus resolution, and while there's no Gorilla Glass, Motorola has confirmed some sort of hardened glass is being used. Now, if you follow Beebom close enough, you know how I'm always in for an AMOLED over IPS LCD. So thank you Motorola for not going with a high refresh rate IPS LCD here. Anyway, this AMOLED here is decently bright at 700 nits of peak brightness. The colors look vibrant and nice, and the blacks are deep like you'd expect on an AMOLED. The phone has Wi-Fi 1L1 support, so Netflix or Prime Video is no problems at all. So the chipset experience and the display are mostly sorted on the G71. Now, looks are subjective, but this blue color is kind of growing on me every day. In fact, I think it looks better in person than in pictures. Don't you think? Here's how it looks side by side when compared to the G51. Do comment below and let us know what you think about the looks of this phone. I mean, it's still a plastic bag that looks like glass, but this is a phone that looks nice and kind of premium if you ask me. Plus, I like the dimensions of this phone compared to a phone like the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. This is lighter and more compact. I also like that the fingerprint scanner is here in the Moto logo. I mean, at first glance, it doesn't even look like a fingerprint scanner. +1 on the aesthetics right there. On the right, the phone has 3 buttons: the power button with this nice pattern on top for better recognition, the volume rocker, and the Google Assistant button, which is something we have been seeing in Moto phones of late. The SIM slot is a dual SIM slot with no microSD support. This whole design is IP52 rated for splash resistance, and there's this one single speaker at the bottom, so yeah, no stereo speakers. Anyway, if I move to the back, there are 3 cameras, a 50 megapixel f1.8 sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle sensor which also works as a depth camera, and there's a 2 megapixel macro lens. Now here are some shots from the 50 megapixel sensor, and in good lighting the photos look sharp and fairly detailed, and I also noticed good colors and sort of this contrasty look in whatever photos I've taken so far. In low light, it's too early to judge, but some photos look good while some kind of decentish. Now, I'm yet to compare the G71's photos with other phones in this price range, so can't really give a verdict right now. As for the ultra-wide angle camera, it's been pretty good so far. I mean, most of the times it manages to maintain the colors from the main camera, which is always nice. The details go a little lacking, but otherwise seems like a pretty good ultra-wide angle lens. Moving on to the battery, the G71 has a 5000 mAh battery with a 33-watt turbocharger in the box, which should be pretty fast. I'm yet to test things, but AMOLED plus a 6nm chipset plus a fairly big battery should translate into good battery performance. Lastly, there are a few points to note. The G71 has 3CA carrier aggregation with 4x4 MIMO, so connectivity will be great. Also, this is a proper 5G phone with 13 5G bands. Yeah, that's a lot of bands, so yeah, this is good for future-proofing. To conclude things, this is my initial impressions video, but the Moto G71 128GB at Rs 18,999, does it make sense? Well, it does, if you ask me. It's got an AMOLED screen, a new powerful chipset, sleek and lightweight design, a big battery with pretty fast charging, and it has the best software experience you can get in this price segment. Now, I know the back is plastic, the AMOLED 60Hz, and there's no stereo speakers. But the point is, even with these cut downs, the G71 seems like a good, solid smartphone I can see myself recommending to a lot of people. Now, this is not the final verdict though. I will be comparing the cameras to the competition, and I'm yet to use it as my daily driver. But I want to know your opinion on the G71. Do you think it makes sense? Comment down below. Also, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. Also, hit the bell icon if you haven't already. Well, that's me signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
How to control your phone with a wand. Lumos.